It's funny. I think one of the underlying themes in this conversation is confidence. Confidence from companies willing to invest in IT, confidence from the VC sector willing to invest in startups, and more importantly, confidence in people that they have the right kind of training and the right kind of skills in order to do the job. One of the ways I think that we try to give people that confidence and employers is through the proper certifications and specializations around technologies. But at the same time, we hear a lot at IT World Canada about questioning the value of whether those certifications are worth it. I'll give you an example from a reader named Michael from Milton, Ontario, who said, "I think the biggest problem we are facing is the certification issue. Certification costs have drastically increased over the years to the point where it's barely affordable, and we still have to repeat it every few years in order to keep up with the new technology and to remain certified, yet they are essential in our industry." How do we find that right balance between the certifications that'll make sense, investing in the right kind of skills development, and having kind of that complex skill set that you were talking about?
Certification is very important. In our survey with ICTC recently, 55% of hiring managers said that certification was one of the breaking points for them on hiring somebody into a role. And I think when people certainly look at the want ads for jobs, those certifications are clearly called out. I can tell a personal story here. When I left university, I had no IT certification, and in applying for roles, it wasn't going to help me get ahead. I shelled out my own dollars soon after university to get my first MCSE, the Microsoft certification, to help bolster my resume. That translated into getting a job on a help desk at General Electric Canada, and was the starting point of my career in IT. And then my employer rounded out my certification because it was in progress. And then I've gone on to be able to build upon that and I can say quite honestly, because it started with that certification. I owe quite a bit to the launch of my personal career. And I think there's a number of people that find themselves in the same boat. It is true that keeping up with certification, if this really is a profession, I think all professions have levels of certifications. If you're a doctor, if you're an architect, if you're an engineer, or if you're an HVAC technician, there's always certifications. It's important to drive excellence and execution and innovation and efficiency and competitiveness in the market. That certification is key for that. For employers, certification is a way to understand, is a bar of quality for people. Certifications are not alone. I think certification combined with all the things that we've talked about today make for an amazing resume, and have to be coupled with some great experiences on your resume as well. I think sometimes people don't seek out situations in their own organizations that help them show their leadership skills, seeking out being a project lead. So no certification is going to say I'm certified to be a great leader of a small team or a large team of people. You have to seek out that experience. You have to look to your employer, and employers need to allow their people to gain those kinds of experiences. I do think that employers should consider certification a great investment, particularly the tune-ups on those certifications over time is a wise investment, because you know that you're keeping a certain bar of execution. We're doing some work with the schools, like I mentioned, and one of the elements of that work is to make sure that when people go to get the certifications, they've got a great baseline. So you're not starting from scratch, so that gaining that certification becomes more natural, more a part of a continuous arc of learning for the IT professional. And we've actually changed our programs. You mentioned at the beginning, we run a lot of programs, and we absolutely do. Everything from the MSDN, the Microsoft Developer Network programs, and TechNet for IT professionals to Ignite Your Career, and our in-person events. We've actually changed the tone of everything we do in Canada to go away from hey, come learn about one of our new products and all the great things, new things that it does, because that actually wears people out. And we've changed it to come and help sharpen your skills. Sometimes, when people want to hear about a new product, there's plenty of opportunities to do that. But the real focus is helping people keep their skills sharp, to help manage the change in their environments, and to really propel their career, because we know that the more successful the IT professional, the more successful the industry will be. The happier that IT professional can be, the better the industry will be. It's not about the technology. It's absolutely about the people. And so, if you are doing your certification, I think some of these other programs, again, help you ensure that when you make the investment, you're going to get the certification. When you get the certification, you have other places to gain other kinds of skills, other kinds of experiences, and you combine that, it makes you a sought after talent in the marketplace right now.
Excellent. We've mentioned a number of the programs and the resources that you offer, but maybe let's give people some takeaways from this. What are some things they can do to invest in their skills development today, and what can Microsoft do to help them?
So I think for people in the industry today, there's a number of places you can go. We've talked about certification. There's a number of places to continue certification work across the country with our certified education centers around the country. From my team, for some specifics, we mentioned the Ignite Your Career webcast series. That webcast series is a 6-part series. We mentioned it before, covering a very interesting set of topics. It'll help you with those business skills and thinking about the experiences that you need. Great panels, great Q&A. Many of them are live. They're underway right now, but we've recorded them all, so they're all on demand. Some of you can go back and revisit. And if you're an IT manager, it's a great resource because it's a free recorded resource. It's something that could become the basis of curriculum for your own teams. Again, use that. We've paid for that to happen. Use that as a basis for part of the training and development of your own teams. And then when you go to spend the hard dollars on training costs, it allows you to maximize that investment. So the Ignite Your Career webcast series is certainly one great place. Tech Days was a set of events that we had earlier this year and will reappear again in the fall. But for the time being, we have something called Tech Days Online launching. And this is going to be a set of online resources and some live and recorded activities and forums with experts to help people really sharpen their technical skills. Okay. And so that's Tech Days Online. And then we have Energize IT. We're actually going back out on the road to visit 13 cities across the country. And Energize IT is about what's possible in the future. So this idea of how are jobs changing and understanding what is coming, not from a product set, but from really trends in the industry and how to take advantage of them. That's what Energize IT is all about, and that's for both IT professionals and developers alike. If you're a student, I think the institution that students are at right now does a ton to help support their future, but we are also doing some very specific curriculum work. And at some of those events, like Energize IT, we have student tracks and student activities focused just for that group of people, so that you may not be ready for some of the content. You want some student-focused content. We're doing that. We're doing that as well. The last one, if you want to have the ongoing dialogue with bouncing ideas about how to continue to grow your career and giving us the feedback, I think some of the feedback we've had today has been absolutely amazing. We also have our community connection blogs for developers, IT professionals, and IT managers, where this discussion continues on in addition to some of the other great places like your blogs, where this discussion, I think, will not end today, but it's a healthy one. It's one that we have to have for the success of the industry across Canada.
So skills development obviously starts, and career development obviously starts by engaging with the industry. It's fueled by a dialogue, and that's a dialogue that we hope to kick off today. I'd like to thank Mark Relph for talking to me today, and thank you for watching. For IT World Canada, I'm Schick.